Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kelly, and in today's video, we are doing another pick a card reading. Today, we are asking Spirit all about a message that is meant to reach you right now. All of my pick a card readings are timeless, so whenever you come upon this video, a message will be ready for you. Before we begin, please give me a big like down below and subscribe to my channel for more pick a card tarot readings just like this one. If you're new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. These are the 4 piles that you can choose from. This is pile 1 with a honey calcite. This is pile 2 with a milky quartz. This is pile 3 with a rose quartz. And this is pile 4 with an opalite. I'll give you some time to meditate on the cards and choose the pile that you feel the most drawn to. Please use your intuition when choosing your pile, and if you feel drawn to more than one pile, feel free to watch multiple piles. There may be more than one message in this video for you today. After you're done deciding, scroll down to the description box or the pinned comment and click on the timestamp to skip to your reading. Tarot is an intuitive and insightful way to read the current energies surrounding a situation. If you ever hear something that you do not like in a reading, please do not give up or get discouraged. Remember that you have 100% free will over your life and you can change the course of direction at any time. My intention with these readings is to help gently guide you to a better path for your mind, heart, and soul. So never get discouraged about what you may hear because it may end up being the activation you need to change course. With that being said, I'll give you some time to start meditating on the cards. You can close your eyes and hover your hands over the screen to see if you feel any sensations on a certain pile, or you can simply meditate on the cards and choose a pile based off of your gut feeling. Hi, beautiful souls. If you chose this honey calcite, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and get into your tarot cards. We're getting the 9 of Wands, the 6 of Swords, the 7 of Cups, the 2 of Swords, 6 of Cups, and the Page of Wands. Okay, so off the bat, I'm really sensing that you guys are at this stuck point of deciding what to do next. A real big turning point in your either career, relationship, maybe the place that you're living, or just general next life steps. So if you clicked on this video, you are meant to hear this message at this time. This is a message from your spirit guides. So what I'm sensing with the first card right here, the 9 of Wands, you've really gone through this time where somebody has either tested your boundaries or you're going through a test of faith. This card also talks about resilience, courage, and persistence. So with that card starting us off, it really shows me that there has been something that has made you question your path, whether that is another person, whether that is just the general way that you're feeling on a day-to-day basis. This is Moon in Sagittarius energy. So Moon in Sagittarius would signal that you're somebody that craves change. You're somebody that's typically positive. You would be somebody that wants to do different things and take on challenges, and you don't run away from challenges. However, with that coming up in this type of reading, I'm sensing that there's something that has been testing those qualities about you. Something that has been testing your positivity. Something that has been testing the fact that you usually like to move around. Something is like bogging you down, holding you down with this card starting us off. And then we move on to the 6 of Swords. The 6 of Swords is talking about Mercury in Aquarius energy. And this card actually typically talks about transition, change, rite of passage, and releasing baggage. So there's something that needs to be released. Whatever that thing is bogging you down, bogging your positivity down, is the thing that needs to be reevaluated or released for you to be able to move on to this next big thing that you're really wishing for, that you really want. Because we do have the 7 of Cups next, which is Venus in Scorpio energy. And it talks about opportunities, choices, wishful thinking, and illusion. So the things that you think that are good for you or that you're used to might actually be an illusion or wishful thinking. Maybe if you're in a relationship that's not good for you or a job that's not good for you, you have this wishful thinking that's like, maybe it will get better. Maybe there will be an equal give and take in the future. Maybe there's going to be something about partnership or unified love here. However, I'm sensing that if you're always feeling bogged down, if you're always feeling negative around this person, around this job, around this place, whatever the thing is, the sign here and the message here is that you are encouraged to reevaluate that and see if that's really in alignment with you. I'm sensing that you may have Sagittarius in your chart, or the person you're inquiring about or thinking about while you're clicking on this video may have Sagittarius in their chart, but I'm sensing that typically when you're in a even neutral emotional state, you tend to lean positive, but there's something in your life that is constantly weighing you down and putting negativity into your life. And for each of you Pile Ones, it's going to be different, but there is that encouragement here coming again and again through each card, encouraging you to potentially release those things. We move on to the Two of Swords next, which is Moon in Libra energy. So this is an indecisive energy. This is talking about difficult decisions, weighing up options, and impasse, and even avoidance. So some of you may be avoiding this thing, this person, this place, this situation, this job entirely just because you don't want to deal with the difficulty of actually potentially breaking that bond or breaking that connection. But the longer and longer you drag it out, the more it's just going to weigh down on you and the other person. But I sense that there's this nostalgia that you have towards this person, this place, this thing, this job, where you don't really want to let go of it at this time because you don't know what it looks like on the other side. But we do have this Six of Cups here, which is why I channeled nostalgia. This is really showing me that you're revisiting the past, potentially your childhood memories, or more innocent times, more joyful times. This card is connected to Sun in Scorpio energy, and that is a really intense energy. So whatever feelings that you have towards this person, this place, this job, this thing that is bogging you down is that it was once good and it was once really serving you, but at this time it's no longer serving you. It's no longer providing anything in your life that you could go forward with. And I know that's a hard thing to here, but we don't want to live in this feeling of disappointment or bitterness or even pessimism, even apathy for some of my Pile Ones. We don't want to live that way, and that's why I'm sensing that all these difficult cards that are coming up, because quite literally all 5 of these cards are a little bit leaning towards difficulty here, and the common theme I really see of them is releasing things or making a decision about to release a certain thing, or having boundaries, or just even trying to avoid it entirely because you don't have those boundaries. And there's a nostalgia kind of colored over the whole tarot story as well. So whatever it is, whatever's coming up in your mind right now, you are encouraged to ask yourself if you are engaging in escapism, avoiding the situation, or are you actually reevaluating things and trying to pick the best thing for you? Not thinking out of a fear mindset, not thinking out of a scarcity mindset, but thinking out of true love mindset. Because if you're keeping yourself in a place that you can't serve the other person and the other person can't serve you, or you can't serve the job in the best capacity and the job does not serve you emotionally, then it's really just holding both people or both person and job down. And there could be somebody else, if we were talking about a job, for example, there could be somebody else that's a better fit for that job, and you could go find a job that's a better fit for you. And this could be extrapolated out into relationships, friendships, whatever the situation might be that has been really testing your faith, testing your boundaries, really kind of adding that negativity into your life. So finally, we move on to the Page of Wands, which really ties this all together and shows me that what your soul is actually craving is inspiration. You want new ideas, you want to discover new things. You know that inside that you are naturally somebody that feels like you have limitless potential. People might even describe you as being a free spirit, moving from one place to another, or one friend group to another, or even one job to another. But at some point in your journey, you stopped transitioning, you stopped changing, and now your soul is craving that transition and change again. You're really craving on moving on to a different opportunity. And it's a really difficult decision that you actually have to weigh up, that you actually have to think about before moving on, because I am sensing that you don't want to really hurt anybody or any particular job or place that you might be thinking about leaving with that Six of Cups coming up here. This is, again, talking about nostalgia, revisiting the past, even childhood memories. So there's a lot of memories and good things that you're holding on from inside, but I do encourage you to take a really good look at what is actually present today versus what am I revisiting from the past. Because if it's not even similar, if there's obviously a major change, even potentially betrayal or deception in the situation that we're talking about on the table, then it's really just a good thing for you and the other person or the other situation, the job, whatever it is, for you to reevaluate and take action. So this is a message that you're meant to hear right now. And that is all that I have for the tarot story. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers through the oracle cards. Okay. Keep your thoughts positive. So I'm sensing that's literally what I was talking about. This card, remember, is Moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is usually an optimist, a positive sign, one that actually likes challenges and likes to go and persevere through challenges. However, I'm sensing that whatever challenge at this time is actually creating negative thoughts in your mind. It's actually creating negativity in your life in general, and it's bogging down your aura. I really can see that through the cards, and I sense that it's difficult right now for you to keep your thoughts positive because of the people, the places, the situation, or the job, whatever situation in your life that's resonating the most for you. It's very difficult to stay positive with that constantly in your life. So with the Two of Swords here, you see how the image is more grayed and they look alone, dull, scary. I am sensing a little bit of this type of energy in your aura, in your spirit, because of the things that you're tied to and that you have to connect with. So what I would recommend for this pal actually is, if we look at the imagery in this card, she is meditating and trying to get higher insight. There is a pyramid here. You can also tell that she is having the chakra system activated here. I really sense that if you take some time to yourself, if you were able to have a moment where you can rest and relax and really reevaluate the situation for what it is, away from everybody else's opinion, away from anybody else's words, because when you're in a place where you're feeling confused and you're not sure where to go, other people's opinions can really affect your own opinion. So it's really important for you to have that quiet alone time so you can get in alignment with what you really feel without any outside influence. And I know that obviously you're feeling very confused, which is why you would click on a video that says a message that is meant to reach you right now. I meant to help with this particular reading and with this particular message, but a part of me feels like for this pile, you had been potentially asking a lot of people their opinions, or a lot of people have just been giving you their opinions, and it's starting to confuse you more and more with this illusion card coming up. So if you could take a little bit of time where you don't take anybody's opinion and just take account of what's really going on in life, I feel like you would be able to naturally find the best thing for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on and see what type of self-care you can do. Number 18, dance. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 is actually a very adaptable number. So not only are you swayed by the people around you, that 9, that adaptability number really shows me that you go with the flow of other people and you adapt with other people really well. And that is usually a good trait. That's usually a trait that other people really like in you. But when crisis comes up, when things are bad, it's not as good to be an adaptable person that just goes with the flow. With this card coming up, Spirit is asking you to flow in different ways. Try to flow through dance. Try to release a little bit of that energy. So when you move your body through exercise, walking, dancing, you really are able to shake up the energy that you have. There is stagnant energy within all of us at times. When we don't want to get out, when we don't want to move, when we don't want to get ready, we don't want to present ourselves to the world, that is a clear sign that we are in a Thomas energy, which means that we're in inertia. We can't move. So when you're feeling that way because you're so bogged down, remember I kept saying that you were bogged down by either a person, a place, a job, a situation. For all my pile ones, it's going to be different, but that energy of being bogged down and feeling like you have to pull yourself out of bed or force yourself to just get on with the day, that is a sign that there's something wrong or off in your current situation. So Spirit is really encouraging you to get up and dance, even if it's totally by yourself. Turn on your favorite jams, shut everybody out, and just allow yourself to dance like nobody's watching, because literally no one's watching, and it just helps shake up that energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Ooh, we're getting the dragon power, number 11 here. Number 11 actually is a very emotional number. It is a master number if that is your life path number, and it actually talks about just that stagnant energy that I was talking about. Because if you are a life path 11, and there's life path calculators, but essentially you would add up your entire birthday, your month, your day, the year, add it all up and reduce it usually down to a 1 digit, but 11, 22, and 33 are master numbers, so they don't reduce those. However, you might also resonate with being a 2, but that is a story for another day. But with that 11 and coming in with the dragon in power, I'm sensing that actually there's a girl here. So I'm sensing that there is protection over you and you have that power. However, your emotions are really taking over you at this time. And that is what you need to try to gain power over. The dragon card here is really showing me actually another confirmation. Look to see in your life if there's anyone else that is trying to take your power away, or if there's a job, a situation, a place that's trying to take your power away and be the main character of your movie when your life is your life. So I'm going to make an example. Let me see. What house? Oh, 7th house. Okay, this is a house of business partnerships, marriage, the other. So that's actually very, very clear. So let's just talk about relationships then. So I'm sensing that there is a relationship in your life. It could be a friendship. It could be a romantic relationship that is taking your power away. So it could be little things where you're trying to do something or you're trying to be beneficial or help, but this person just keeps shutting you down or controlling you or telling you what to do. And it doesn't really help you at all. You just feel like they're trying to take your power away and just adding negative thoughts into your life. I don't know exactly the energy that I'm feeling here. Maybe it'll come up in a second, but I'm just feeling they are also putting maybe thoughts in your head of you not doing what you're supposed to be doing on this earth. So you have a calling. I'm really sensing that you have a calling, you have a wish, you have a desire to have some type of inspiration, some type of idea that you want to act on, something that you have maybe potentially recently discovered, something that makes you feel limitless. However, there's a person in your life with that 7 that we just rolled that is getting in the way of that, telling you that maybe it's not a good idea, maybe this isn't the right thing to do, and just putting those little thoughts in your head, which really ends up being something that lingers on your mind and holds you back. So I think that if that is resonating with you, I encourage you to let go of the feeling of being judged or criticized or shunned or even ostracized by your partner or whoever that is coming up. It could be even the 7th house is also business partnerships. So it could be somebody from work as well that is making you feel this way. And I really encourage you to think about this. Think about if it's sustainable to be in a connection with a person like this that is almost manipulating you or trying to dominate over you. With the dragon power, it's really telling you to take control of your emotions and take your power back if that's the situation, if that's resonating with you. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward. Success. And there is a tropical jungle here with a black jaguar, I believe. And so that's telling me that you are meant for success. Whatever it is that has sparked your curiosity, whatever it is that you have an idea about, that you've been wanting to act on, you've been wanting movement, you've been wanting to move forward, but something is holding you back. The truth is, Spirit is here to encourage you, to remind you that you are meant for success. You don't have to listen to these people that don't understand your dream. There's not going to be many people that actually understand your dream because it was a dream that was given to you. And even if you sat there and tried to explain your dream to all these people, it doesn't make sense. It's still not going to make sense for them because it doesn't align with them. They should just focus on their dream, their purpose, their path, instead of trying to control you, your purpose, your path. And you have to channel the strength and power from within so you can go down your unique, beautiful path, and you will find success in that. Also, what I'm getting from this tropical jungle image that I'm channeling from, I'm sensing that a tropical jungle is actually really important for the ecosystem and in general, because the trees in that system really take out things like carbon dioxide from the environment and produces oxygen. And also inside tropical jungles and environments, there's a lot of different life forms there. There's a lot of different animals, a lot of different plants, and it just generally has incredible diversity. So that also may be a symbol, a metaphor for you in your life. You are somebody that's really able to typically filter out the CO2 and make it oxygen in a sense. Obviously, you're not absorbing carbon dioxide and producing oxygen, but what I meant by that is that you are very able to be an alchemist, to take something and turn it into something else. However, there's something, someone, some situation that's getting in the way of that. But you are diverse, just like a tropical jungle. You have so many talents, so many gifts that only you know the level of it. inside yourself. So I really encourage you to act on those things because success will come for you when you start acting on those things. And let's go ahead and move on. We're getting affection, Sorrel. There's a cat here in a mirror. There's a Taurus sign here and 12 here. So 1 + 2 is 3. So three is a number of communication. It could even, if we talk about the third house, it's your house of courage. It's your house of siblings. So maybe actually it's even siblings, honestly, that is getting in your way. Don't let these people, even if they are your family, misunderstand you. You're here to do what you are meant to do, and they are here to do what they are meant to do. Only insecure people are going to get in the way of somebody else's path. Okay, I said it. I don't care if I said that. It is the truth. If you're happily on your path, you're not going to try to get in the way of anybody else's path. Only if you're insecure, only if you don't know your path, only if you're lost, you're going to be trying to get in the way of somebody else's path or even have an opinion on somebody else's path. So whoever is coming up in your mind's eye when I am saying all this is somebody that you need to take a good look at. Are they somebody loyal or are they not? There's 2 black hats here. Okay. So I don't actually think black hats are bad luck, but that myth is coming up for me right now. So sense who gives you the energy of bad luck when they come around. Who gives you weird energy? Because I am sensing that you know who exactly I'm talking about and what is affecting you. Okay. And then with this affection card, what it's telling me as well in Taurus is go towards the people that actually take care of you. Go towards the people that actually show you affection. Really give back to those people because those are the people that are actually there for you, cheering you on and wanting you to go on your unique path. The people that are going against you actively or trying to put doubts in your mind are not your people. Okay. And then with the Taurus coming up here, Taurus actually, when Taurus is in love, they want to take care of you. They'll get your favorite blanket. They'll make sure that you have all the things that you like. They pay attention to what you like, and they will give you things that you have either mentioned, or if you haven't really mentioned much around them, they're very generous people that will give you things that they like. They'll introduce you to things. They really show their love, attention, and affection through giving things because they actually do rule over the second house. And the second house is our stored wealth and our material possessions. Also, our speech and what we put into our mouths, like what we eat. So they might be foodies. This person might bring you a lot of good treats. Those type of people are the people that you want to put affection back into. You want to walk away from the people that make you feel confused, make you feel like you're disrespecting your own boundaries, making you feel you have difficult decisions to make when it comes to them, people that make you feel just avoidant in general, people that make you feel you're testing your faith and your persistence. So those people are holding you back, to be honest, and you really want to move forward. I can sense your soul really wants to move forward. I'm really encouraging you. I'm rooting for you, Pile 1. I sense that on the other side of this difficult decision, there's going to be success. There's going to be positivity, power, and affection when you choose these things, when you choose the people that give you these things. And also when you give a lot of this energy out, you will receive more of it in. So that's all I actually have for you today, Pile 1. If you enjoyed this reading like I did, please give me a big like down below. And of course, comment down below, Pile 1, if you chose this reading, or tell me what you resonate the most with down below. I love to see your comments. Is my absolute favorite thing about the channel. When you interact with a reading, you pull the energy closer to you, so make sure you interact below. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new pick a card tarot readings just like this one every single week. So I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye, Pile 1. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose this Milky Quartz, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and get right into your tarot cards. The 8 of Cups, the Fool, the 4 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. So right off the bat, in general, what I'm sensing is that you are ready, more than ready, to walk away from something that makes you feel lonely, isolated, apathetic, and that you just don't care. You're ready for a fresh start somewhere in your life, and I'm really sensing that you are at your breaking point. You may have been thinking and pondering about this for a long, long time, but you're at this point where you can't really ignore it any longer. It's really starting to feel like this. As you can see, she has a sweater on that says "over it." So there's something that you are deeply, deeply over to the core of your being. And I'm sorry that I giggle. I end up giggling when I feel a certain energy of uncomfortable and uncertain. So when I feel that way, I start giggling, and it's a nervous giggle. So something that makes you nervous, something that makes you apathetic, that you're over it, is hitting a breaking point. And the message that is meant to reach you right now is that you are encouraged to reevaluate that thing that is making you feel that way. And also right off the rip, I usually don't say this, but this pile is giving me a very similar energy to pile number 1. So if you were at all feeling you were connecting to pile 1 as well, maybe watch it after this because this might be your primary pile, but there may be a message ready for you as well in pile number 1. So let's go ahead and start here with the 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups is Saturn in Pisces energy. And actually, when I think about Saturn in Pisces, I'm really sensing that there is some type of painful ending coming. I really do feel you're a kind person, you're a compassionate person, you're an empathetic person. You probably give way more than you ever receive, and you're hitting that breaking point of realizing that maybe I'm giving too much, maybe I'm not receiving anything right now, and there's really not that equal give and take, and you're about ready to just drop everything, take a backpack and just go. Literally just a backpack. You're not even going to take all your stuff. You just want to escape. That's what I'm really getting out of this. This card does talk about disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, and escapism. So essentially you might be wanting to escape the situation that you're in right now. You might want to withdraw from the situation that you're in right now, but there's a sense of maybe feeling you'd be abandoning the other person, the place, the thing, the situation that you might be thinking about. So there's that feeling of disappointment when you think about this situation. The more you think about the situation, the more disappointed you get. And here comes that nervous laugh again. It's almost if you were trying to open up to somebody about this, if you were trying to vent to somebody about this, it's almost you don't even want to vent about it because I feel potentially this situation has been going on for so long that you kind of feel just disappointed that nothing has changed and feel it's pointless to even tell anybody anything anymore, which is why I mentioned a breaking point. I didn't get that in the first pile, by the way, but I do really get that in this pile. You're about to approach a breaking point with something. And let's go ahead and now move on to the Fool. The Fool is Uranus and air energy. So this is telling me radical change. And the Fool does talk about a new beginning, beginnings in general, innocence, spontaneity, a free spirit, and risk. There is this feeling that I'm getting that you would consider yourself a free spirit, or you used to consider yourself a free spirit, something along the lines of that is what I'm channeling here, and you're ready to take another risk. There's something that you want to do, and I actually do think it is something in the earthly, physical, career, or money realm because we're getting the Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, but we'll get deeper into that in a second. But I'm sensing that whatever is holding you back, and we could roll a dice actually, what is holding pile 2 back? Okay, you gotta watch pile 1 because it's very similar to this. We rolled 7 in pile 1 too. So there's a relationship, a marriage, a business partnership that is holding you back. And of course, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship or a marriage because the 7th house also talks about business partnerships. So it could be somebody that you're working with because the 3 of Pentacles is here as well. So this talks about teamwork. So I'm sensing that there's somebody, one other person, because the 7th house is you and the other. So there's one person, 4 on the clock as I'm saying this, that is really causing you to feel disappointed. And here's that nervous laugh again. So the nervous laugh is coming up a lot in this particular pile because I'm sensing that you might have been trying to protect this person, trying to keep secrets for this person and show your loyalty to this person is what I'm channeling. And they're not really showing you that loyalty back. And honestly, you're getting to this point where you're just feeling like the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is Moon and Cancer energy. So this is emotional energy here. And it talks about meditation, contemplation, apathy, and re-evaluation. You're being very encouraged to re-evaluate your situation at this time. What is making you feel so disappointed? What is making you feel you want to escape it or withdraw from it? Who, actually, because I'm really sensitive it's a who. But that is really funny that we rolled a 7. So you definitely might resonate with pile number 1 as well. So what I'm getting out of this situation here is that you're ready for something new, either a new friendship group, a new way of working, some other team to work with. Because if we're talking about business partnerships here, because again, the 7th house can be business partnerships, I'm sensing this business partner is not the one for you. You guys don't really gel together, 5 on the clock, and that's the number of change. So something needs to change there. There really needs to be something that's different. Either the person needs to change, you might consider changing. I feel you are somebody that changes and adapts a lot though. So I feel you've been changing for this person and you're just at the point of being over it. So with the 3 of Pentacles coming here, there also may be interferences a third party, and I don't like to talk about that much because I don't like to talk about those things on my channel, but potentially there is some type of third party situation going on here, and I won't go deep into that. You would already know what I'm talking about if that's your situation. This is Mars and Capricorn energy, and it talks about teamwork, collaboration, learning, and implementation. So on the positive note of this card, instead of a third party, it could just be that genuinely you want to work in a group. Okay, you want to work in a group and do something that is going to better your life, your physical, financial foundation. There's something there. And honestly, this card also does talk about potentially business, so business teamwork. So again, it could be business related relationships rather than romantic relationships. And then we move on to the Page of Cups, which shows me Earth of Water energy. And there is this creative opportunity coming into your field, something that you're very curious about. You have been getting intuitive messages about this particular thing. And I do encourage my lovely pal twos to follow your curiosity because it can open up a lot of different possibilities for you and your success. I know that you want success. I understand that you would want to provide for yourself financially and that you would want to see your success play out in the world, see your talent, your creativity, your curiosity play out in the world and be rewarded for it on some level. I'm not thinking that you guys are trying to do any get rich quick schemes, but I'm sensing that there's this idea that you have that you want to take a risk on, but there is a person, a business partner, a romantic relationship, a marriage potentially that is making you feel apathetic and that you want to escape and withdraw. So that is really showing me that it is time for reevaluation with that relationship. Really understanding if nothing ever changed, would you be able to live this way for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years? Is this something that you can tolerate for the rest of your life? I know that's very serious, but it is seeming very serious here. And of course, you could always choose forgiveness. You could always choose working on it harder, so long as the other person is also choosing that and that you guys work on it together. Of course, I think that things can change. Of course, I think that things can be fixed. However, I do sense a breaking point. And then finally, we move on to the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is actually Sagittarius and Capricorn energy, and it represents a queen that is nurturing, practical, providing financially, and a working parent. Potentially, you've been overgiving in that realm because the shadow side of the Queen of Pentacles is being overly nurturing, overly caring and giving and providing too much financially for another person to the point where they take a step back and don't really put up their part. So that's really something that maybe needs to be also reevaluated. Okay, so that's all I have for the tarot portion of your story. Essentially, I feel somebody is draining your energy and that you're wanting something new. You want to go forward to something else and you're starting to reach a breaking point. So let's go ahead and now get any oracle cards to see if we have any clarifications. Write down your goals and dream big. Yes, that's what I was sensing with this Page of Cups here, talking about curiosity and all these possibilities that you have in your mind, and also the Fool talking about risk taking and new beginnings. I'm sensing that you have this new thing that you're curious about, that you want to take action on. You have all these new goals and dreams. However, you're feeling you can't act on these dreams because there is an energy drain in your life that's kind of taking away your excess energy. You feel you do not have excess energy to put towards your dreams. And that is something that is actually really saddening because I feel this dream is something that can turn into a major passion for you. However, it's hard for you to get your mental right, and everything starts in the mind. Everything is mental first. So if your mind is clouded up and bothered by an external situation, it's hard to focus your attention, your time, your energy towards your actual goal. So to try to negate this a little bit, if you're not ready to fully dive into dealing with the situation that you have at hand, I do recommend, and the card recommends, that you take out a notebook, or if you don't feel like a notebook is private enough, you can have your phone notes and you can actually lock your notes. I do that sometimes when I'm trying to write down big dreams and goals that I don't want anyone to see at any time. So you could write down your goals and dreams in there and lock it up, and it could be private for your own self. So writing down your goals and dreaming big is going to be really important for you in this next coming time. And I really do sense that you could dream bigger and have bigger goals if you cut out the people that are draining your spirit. Okay, so what type of self-care would be best for my lovely pal twos? Number 27, hydrate. 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 is a very adaptable number. Okay, this is really honestly resonating with the first pile. They got 9 as well, but a different card here. So sometimes our mood, our energy can actually be more bogged down, more affected if we're not hydrating, if you're not drinking enough water. Yes, I was surprised to learn that as well. I learned that maybe a decade ago, but essentially Dehydration can actually cause a lot of different negative things in your life, and you will feel more tired, you'll feel groggy, you might even start feeling depressed, all from dehydration, because we really need to be hydrated as humans. Our body is a lot of water. So I really recommend that if you have been so distraught, not really even taking care of yourself, not drinking water, that you try to drink a glass of water right upon waking up, and go get a glass of water right now, okay? You could take me with you, take your little phone with you, or you could put your headphones in and walk away from the screen and still hear me and get that glass of water. So try to track the amount of water that you're drinking every day as well. It really depends on your height, your body weight, and everything. So you can easily Google that and see how much is the optimal amount of water for you. It is also possible to drink too much water. So try to get the optimal amount of water, and you can start tracking it. You can just tally it throughout the day and count it by cups or count it by whichever way works the best for you. But I'm sensing that if you focus on hydration, maybe drinking a gallon of water a day, that's actually going to be really beneficial for your mental health. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Raven spirit truth. Okay. I love this because actually ravens are exceptionally smart animals. And what this is showing me is I feel you know what your truth is. However, you're not actually living your truth, because living your truth takes a lot of courage and it takes disappointing people at times. I'm feeling that the reason why you want to escape your current situation, run away from your current situation, is because you feel it's not in alignment with your truth. And honesty and truth is a very hard thing to face, and living authentically is also very difficult. I encourage you with this Raven coming up to tap into your insight, tap into your intuition, because I feel you actually do know what situations and people make you feel you're not living in your truth, make you feel you're either less than, or that you have to mold and fold into what they think you should be out of fear of being judged by them or not accepted by them. You have been molding yourself towards these people or person for a long time, way past the breaking point. And now Spirit is really telling you that it is time for you to speak your truth and find your truth, figure out what your truth is. Your soul is always going to try to pull you towards the truth and have you live in your truth. And it has to be a level of courage and fearlessness in your journey. It is not going to resonate with everyone. Let's say you want to be an artist and you're in the absolute opposite field of being an artist. I'm not saying you have to up and quit your job right away, but why would you not create art on the side? Is there somebody really getting in the way of your energy that badly that you can't live your truth? I mean, that's just an example. And art can be very, very broad. But I'm sensing something about that where there's somebody in your life that makes you feel you're not being genuine to yourself and you're lost because you're trying to mold to that person. So I, again, really encourage you to follow your inner guidance. I feel there is flashes of insight of who I'm even talking about in your life as I'm speaking these things. And also watch pile 1 because I'm really sensing this is very similar. Let go of anything that feels inauthentic to who you really are, because you have this life and it is a gift. So I encourage you to be sincere in everything that you do. And when you choose to live in your truth, you actually become an inspiration to other people. You actually become an example for other people, and people may start following their truth. You may even change the mind of the person that is bogging you down right now, because if they see you living your truth and thriving, they may want to live their truth as well. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward. Oh, healing chaos, and there's a tornado with butterflies, which represent transformation. So healing chaos here is really telling me that you're going to be facing a major transformation soon, whether you like that or not. Oh, and 32 here, 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 is the number of change, and we did have another 5 earlier today. I'm sensing that there is change coming, and I don't want you to be scared of change. So think about a tornado. Anything in nature, anything that's chaotic, anything that destroys actually also builds. Okay, let's hear that again. Anything that destroys actually also builds. So anything that you potentially are going through in life, whether that is chaos, whether it's crisis, is actually an activator for healing and transformation, because suffering is actually a gift. I know it doesn't feel like a gift when it's happening, but suffering is truly a catalyst for you to do something different, for you to heal and address these things. And of course, if you don't choose to address these things are going to keep coming up. Cycles are going to keep repeating like a tornado, just cycle. So I sense that you know that you are a healer. I know that you are somebody that doesn't want to be stagnant. I know that you're on some level craving that change and that you want to actively heal and actively go towards changing and creating something new. And it starts with living your truth and trying to heal the chaotic parts of your life. And that may mean to withdraw from certain people. That may mean to reevaluate at least certain situations. So I'm really rooting for you, pile number 2, and I really think that you are going to be able to do this. Okay, let's move on. Number 39, which is added to 12, which is a 3. Number of communication and courage. Scorpio here, very intense sign. A sun here, the ego, the identity, longevity, and chrysanthemum. So if any of those resonate with you, but with the longevity as the card here, I'm sensing there may not be the feeling of longevity, honestly, in the relationship that you're in the business partnership that you're in, or just in the way that you're currently living your life. Ooh, actually, earlier, remember when I channeled, can you do this if nothing changed for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years plus? So that's what longevity is. Can you see longevity in the current situation that you're living in? Can you see yourself continuing to do that particular job, that particular business partnership, that particular relationship or marriage or whatever it is? Can you continue to see yourself doing it for the long run? Because that's what's going to be very, very important in your decision making going forward. I do encourage you to just reevaluate. You don't have to make a decision today. You don't have to change everything overnight and just throw everything away. That is not necessary. Just really sitting down, re-evaluating, meditating on it, contemplating on it, because that's what the Four of Cups is talking about, to the point where you can accept your current situation and then create a different situation for yourself after you've really reviewed these things. All right, so that's all I have for you, pile number 2. I do recommend maybe checking out pile 1 if you were at all drawn towards that pile, because it is a similar story here with those 2 piles. And I am rooting for you. I really do sense that you are going to be able to heal chaos and find your truth. And you're really going to be able to be successful in all of your dreams and your goals. So if you enjoyed that reading like I did, please give me a big like down below and comment down below pile 2 or what resonated with you. I love to see your comments. It is my absolute favorite thing about the channel. When you interact with a reading, you pull the energy closer to you. So make sure you interact below. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new pick a card readings just like this one every single week. So I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye pile 2. Hi pile 3, if you chose this rose quartz, this is going to be your reading. So let's get right into the tarot cards. We're getting the Ace of Swords, the 8 of Coins, the 5 of Cups. We're getting the 8 of Swords, the Ruler of Coins, which is the King of Coins in this particular tarot deck, and the 4 of Coins. So we're getting a good amount of coins. So right off the bat, I do sense that this is actually about your career and the next step for your career. So whatever it is that you have been thinking about, I sense that you actually even have taken action on the thing that you've wanted. You have reached a point of disappointment a little bit. And that's why you potentially wanted to click on this video for clarity about your career or the business that you're trying to build. Or it could just be something in the physical realm. So it could be your fitness, it could be something in the earth, physical, career, money, stability, even your ego, nature, foundations, or business. So any of those topics are really heavy in this tarot spread right now. So let's go ahead and actually start with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords talks about breakthroughs, new ideas, mental clarity, and success. So I'm sensing that you have a business idea that you felt like was a breakthrough. It was this new innovative thing that you have really started to hone in on. You wanted that success. You had the mental clarity that you were talented at this thing. However, I'm sensing that you did take action on it, and this is air energy, by the way. You did take action on it, and this is Sun in Virgo energy, and you even might have been very perfectionistic about it. So the 8 of Coins, it talks about apprenticeship, repetitive tasks, mastery, and skill development. So I sense that you've been putting your energy, your time, your effort into your new idea, really trying to do and refine things within that business idea, or even the craft that you're trying to do, or even the fitness routine that you're trying to do. And I'm sensing that through trying to develop that skill, You were doing it again and again and again, and your perfectionism was almost building more and more on top of itself, and you reached a point of disappointment, because this next card does talk about disappointment. I'm sensing that your perfectionism is what is getting in the way of you moving forward. Things don't have to be absolutely perfect for them to be considered successful. However, I'm sensing that you guys are go-getters. You are types of people that maybe are a little harsh on yourself, because again, this is Sun in Virgo energy. So Virgo can be very critical. Virgo can be critical of others, but they can also be critical of themselves. So with that energy of nitpicking at every single move that you make, every single failure, every single success, and even matching up your successes to your previous successes is what's holding you back at this time. Spirit wants you to keep going, keep doing these tasks, keep trying to develop your skills in this particular thing. However, you are encouraged to recognize that you're not going to be perfect right off the bat. You're not going to be a master at this thing right off the bat. It's not really realistic, and it's not really necessary for you to be perfect at this thing right off the bat. So with the Five of Cups coming next, this is Mars and Scorpio energy. So very intense energy. Mars also rules over Scorpio. This card typically talks about regret, failure, disappointment, and even pessimism. So you may have had a tiny failure, nothing detrimental to the idea that you had and the task that you were doing, but maybe, let's give an example. What house? Okay, the first house. So this actually is the house of the self and fitness. So something that you have done for yourself, potentially your fitness. Let's go ahead and just use the example of fitness. So maybe you've been working out for months, years, and you're not seeing the results that you want. You start feeling pessimism about that. You start feeling like you're disappointed with your results, or you even feel like you failed. Like all this work that you're putting in to your workouts or yourself, and you feel like it's not really coming out the right way. However, Spirit is encouraging you to keep on going, keep on focusing on yourself, and don't let that pessimism really take over, because it's going to create perfectionism in your mind that potentially you're comparing your body to somebody else's body and your results to somebody else's results, or even your own current results to past results. So maybe you've gone on this workout regimen before and you haven't been able to get back to what you have. So 4 on the clock as I'm saying that. So another thing that's coming up is maybe for some of you, it doesn't have to be all of you, recently had a child and you can't get your original pre-mommy body back. And that's because it's just gonna take time. So you don't have to feel that regret or failure or disappointment from that situation. Just keep on pushing on. I really sense that results are gonna show slowly over time. And it is something that you may have to accept, that you may not have the exact same body or result as before, but that doesn't mean that you failed. That doesn't mean that you're not still beautiful. I really do sense that you're just being really hard on yourself and nitpicking at yourself. And that's what is really kind of weighing your energy down. Okay, we do have the Eight of Swords next, which really kind of reiterates what I was just saying. This card is Jupiter and Gemini energy, so it's very scattered energy when it is not controlled, and it talks about negative thoughts, self-imposed restriction, imprisonment, and even having a victim mentality. So just because your results are not perfect doesn't mean that you have to put yourself in this self-imposed restriction. Oh, actually, you know what I'm getting? That could relate to your dieting tactics. Maybe you're really restricting yourself or really restricting certain things that don't allow you to really enjoy life and move freely, which is going to cause even more negative thoughts to come in and more perfectionism to come in, because it's just like, okay, well, now I'm eating right. Now I'm working out all the time, but I'm still not seeing results. It's probably due to the stress, to be honest, because when you're actively raising your cortisol all the time and having these stress hormones all the time, it's very difficult to see changes in your body. So what I'm sensing with that and what I encourage is actually taking time to rest and relax so that you are able to have less stress in your life, less cortisol raised, and then you probably will see more results. And for some of you, if this is not about fitness, this is about something that you're doing for yourself, because I do sense that it is something in the earth plane. So whether that is your physical body or your career, money, or stability, your business, something about making money is really on the table right here. So I'm sensing that anything that you have been putting effort into in those realms, just because the results are not there yet, does not mean that you should not keep going. And the ruler of coins is here. So this is showing me that you have a natural leadership ability. You have business ability. This is a king that is focused on wealth, security, has a lot of discipline and abundance. This is the king of coins, the king of the earth realm. So this card is actually related to Aries and Taurus. And that is really showing me that not only do you have that fiery leadership, but you're really grounded in who you are. At your best, you are grounded. I'm sensing that the feeling of disappointment or failure is actually what's holding you back and kind of putting you in a loop of negative thoughts, which creates this feeling that you can't keep going on, that you have a victim mentality of, I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to give up. I'm really feeling that Spirit is encouraging you to have more confidence in yourself and reevaluate these things and change your mentality. So instead of focusing and nitpicking on all the little things that are not working, why don't you go ahead and try to think about all the things that you were successful in life, all of the skills that you've already mastered up until this point, all the little successes that you have gotten up until this point. It's funny about humans, and all humans are like this. It's like we're chasing towards a goal, and then we're so happy when we meet that goal. We're elated, maybe for days, maybe for, if you're lucky, weeks or even a month, but it quickly fades away and we're looking for the next thing. However, when we're in the thick of the next thing, chasing the next thing, we conveniently forget or put on the back burner all of the things that we have mastered, all of the successes that we've had before. But when you're in this down place, thinking about those things again, thinking about all the things that you have been resilient through, all the things that you have persevered through, is going to help you continue to persevere the new goal, the new thing that you're interested in. Because I do sense that you have a lot of power in your energy. You have a lot of strength naturally in your energy with this ruler of coins coming up. I sense that you're a very stable person as well, typically. But right now there's something that's throwing your energy off, which is, I think, just not the result that you're expecting at the speed that you're expecting it. So then finally we end off with the Four of Coins. And this is talking about saving money, security, conservatism, scarcity, and control. And with this particular card coming up, what I'm actually sensing is maybe you saw momentum in the thing that you are trying to improve on that is related to the self or business or money. You saw momentum when you were first starting this thing, but then the momentum slowed down and you started feeling, well, I don't want to go towards this anymore, or I feel like I should take a step back, or maybe I should put my attention elsewhere. And it's all this scarcity mindset of things not working out. And there's a sense of not being able to control the results makes you feel pessimistic and feel like you're ready to give up. But this is a testing point. I'm really sensing that this is a testing point. Spirit, the universe, and even your soul, your higher self, is testing you and seeing if you're going to push through this particular moment. Because if you could push through this particular moment, I'm really sensing that things are going to be changing for you, and things are going to be changing rapidly for you. As soon as you find that energy again, that passion towards it again, and have inspired action towards this thing that you're thinking about, you're going to see your hard work be rewarded. All right, so that's all I have for the tarot portion of the story. Let's go ahead and get your oracle cards. Stop judging and start loving. That is so resonant. So this could be the judging of others, but I'm sensing from what I've been channeling in the reading so far is that you've been nitpicking and judging yourself. So start loving yourself, start pouring into yourself. So this is similar to the message that I was getting earlier of thinking about the previous successes that you've had, the things that you love about yourself that have not changed, or even the things that you have changed in your life that created more love for yourself in your life. So thinking about all those things and focusing on all those things rather than judging yourself. Try to catch yourself when you're being nitpicky towards yourself. Try to catch yourself when you find yourself falling into perfectionism. Try to catch those little moments and interrupt them. And if you're alone, if you're at home and no one's around, you could speak out loud. You could say, stop. I refuse to think that way. And change it. You could change it out loud. You say the opposite of whatever you're thinking. So for example, if you're saying, my progress is not happening fast enough, like that just loops in your head, you say, stop. My progress is fine. My progress is coming. Everything is in divine timing. There's so many different affirmations that you can say to reevaluate. You can say, I'm trying my best. I'm putting steady effort in. I'm taking things one day at a time. I am persistent. There's so many different things that you can say. And then I do recommend for this particular pile to maybe have a list on your phone or a written list somewhere that you can reference easily of all the past successes that you've been through, all the hard things that you have overcome, because sometimes we just need a reminder of all those successes that we've got, all those difficult things that we've overcome to keep us to push on in our new goals, in our new path. Okay, so let's see what type of self-care would benefit pile number 3 the best. Soak in a bath. Number 46, 4 plus 6 is 10 is 1. So again, we rolled a 1 and this is a 1. So really taking care of yourself. So if we go on with the fitness example, are you actually taking ample rest and relaxation between? Because resting and proper sleep, proper nutrition is very important to actually seeing your results. And that can actually extrapolate out to more than just fitness. You want to have good sleep and good rest no matter what you're doing. If you're trying to create a business, if you're trying to reach a new goal, if you're trying to make your body more fit, whatever it is, it will require rest and relaxation. You deserve that rest, self-love, and relaxation. And so as we can see in the image here, she has flowers in the bath. She has candles, multiple candles, and crystals. And there's also incense. So I'm sensing that having a little bath night for yourself, a little bath date with yourself, and really getting in that mood of rest and relaxation. Some of my viewers, obviously, you guys don't have a bath or don't want to take a bath, but just trying to get in that same feeling of having a hot bath. So whether that is through meditation even, or taking a long walk in nature, or a long walk on the beach, anything like that that gives you that energy of soaking in a bath, because I feel like you really, really need it. Because I feel like the perfectionism, the judging, and the nitpicking of yourself is really starting to weigh down on your spirit, and you're starting to actually believe your negative thoughts. And that is scary because those negative thoughts are all lies. They're not the truth. So trying to rewire your brain to thinking of the successes that you have, thinking of the things that you overcome, and also taking the appropriate amount of time to rest and relax is going to propel your success in a way that you have not been able to see before. And the message that is coming up again is that I really feel like Spirit is putting you through a testing point at this time. If you're able to get through this, if you're able to persevere through this challenge, I sense that success is right on the other side. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Ooh, Standing Stones Passage. Okay, in this beautiful red dress, number 40 here. So 4 plus 0 is 4. And 4 is the number of working very hard. Also, it could be if you're talking about the 4th house, that's home, family, emotional security. So I'm sensing that you could work on emotional security, but also actually the standing stones really is something ancient. This has been around for a very, very long time. Like archaeologists have found these standing stones and we're very, very curious about diving into them. So with this being said, these stones sometimes they're put in very interesting places and interesting patterns. So that's showing me truly that you're on a spiritual journey right now, because sometimes people go towards these standing stone places. There's multiple throughout the world, and it really shows me that you're embarking on a major spiritual journey right now because of this. If you see these in person, obviously this seems to be an adult woman and it is like double the size of her. So for somebody to carve these things or move these things took an incredible amount of strength. And I really feel like that's a metaphor for your current path right now. It is taking an incredible amount of strength out of you to continue going on this opportunity that you're thinking about, whether it is fitness, whether it is creating a business, whatever it is. I sense that truly Spirit is testing you at this time. However, I do sense that you're safe and you're protected because this is a sacred journey that you have chosen for yourself. And there is going to be deeper meaning found on the other side of you persevering through this difficult moment. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the right answers. You just got to keep going and keep on adapting to the situation, because I'm sensing that there needs to be tweaks and changes in the way that you're doing things to get the results that you're looking for. I really do feel that you're able to do this. Have hope and faith. Okay, let's move forward. Ooh, security. So that, I think they're in a cave because I see cave drawings here and a fire. So what I'm sensing with that is, aren't these very similar in a sense? Like this was from the ancient times, and back in the day we also found a safe haven inside caves. So with this coming up as well, I'm sensing that you're looking for some type of security. you're looking for some type of refuge. So I'm sensing that you may be burnt out, and the soak in the bath is really resonating again. It's okay to take a break from your goals if you feel like you're a little bit scattered about this type of thing, that you feel you need to just center yourself again. Relax and know everything is well. You're okay to take a break. If you've been feeling on edge, if you've been feeling hyper vigilant, if you've been feeling like unprotected, this is a clear sign to me that it is okay for you to shut down for a little bit. Stop judging yourself, take a break, take a bath, and realize that you are secure. You can take a break. You could take a hiatus. You could take a sabbatical. That's what I'm really getting out of this. And through your break, you will be able to come back with a renewed sense of spirit. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward. Strength, that is so resonant. And a Virgo again. So Virgo is resonant with this reading because you have Sun in Virgo in this card right here. So that Virgo is really coming up. And 19 here, 1 plus 9 is 10, is 1. So again, that number 1, it's about the self. So this pile absolutely is about the self. Something about yourself that you've been wanting to change is potentially not panning out the way you want to, but just keep going. Just keep taking your time. And it's okay to take a rest. If this is about fitness, for example, you can take a break. You could take 2, 3 weeks, a couple months, whatever it is, off of the strength training that you're doing or whatever it is that you're going towards in business, and just being able to take some time to yourself, take that sabbatical, find inner security again, will bring more strength into the situation, will renew your strength. So earlier I was saying it would renew your hope, your faith, but it also would renew your strength. It's okay to take a step back so you can feel strong again. I really am rooting for you, pile number 3. I'm sensing that there is something beautiful on the other side of the door. It is okay to take a break, and I actually very much encourage it. So if you enjoyed this reading like I did, make sure you give me a big like down below. And of course, comment below pile 3 or what resonated the most with you down below. I love to see your comments. It's my absolute favorite thing about the channel. When you interact with the reading, you pull the energy closer to you. So make sure you interact below. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new pick a card tarot readings just like this one every single week. So I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye, pile 3. Hi, pile 4. If you chose this Opalite, this is going to be your reading. Let's go ahead and get right into your tarot cards. We're getting the 7 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, the 7 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, lots of Pentacles, and the Magician. So I feel like there's something in your life that you're really at a deciding point on. There's some major betrayal, actually, something that has been going on for a long time that is starting to wear on your spirit. Let's actually just go through the tarot one by one and see what I'm seeing. So with the 7 of Swords starting us off, this is Moon in Aquarius energy, and it talks about betrayal, deception, getting away with something, and acting strategically. And usually I like to look at the surrounding cards to see what's going on. And the 10 of Swords is here too. So this is painful endings, deep wounds, betrayal again, loss, and crisis. So both of these cards hint at betrayal. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm really sensing that my pile 4s have been betrayed on some level. Whether this is in a romantic relationship, it could be in a friendship, or any type of connection where you feel like you have been betrayed. So again, this is Moon in Aquarius and this is Sun in Gemini. So that airy energy. And what does air talk about? What is the air element in astrology, in tarot? Air is connected to intelligence, change, communication. So with that being said, I'm sensing that there has been multiple chances. You have been trying to be understanding about the situation. You have been trying to see different perspectives about the situation. But I just sense that you are really craving to just walk away and start something new. However, with the 7 of Pentacles here as well, I feel like you are in either a long-term relationship or a long-term friendship, because this is talking about long-term views, sustainable results, perseverance, and an investment. So I feel like you've invested a lot in this person or whoever whoever betrayed you, whatever thing betrayed you. And you feel like you want to persevere through these things and see if it gets better. However, I don't sense that things are getting better. I think that you are very clear and knowledgeable about things not really getting better, and potentially you have been overgiving with the Queen of Pentacles here. The Queen of Pentacles is a queen that is very nurturing, practical, provides financially, and is a working parent. So the shadow side of the Queen of Pentacles is overgiving. I sense that you've been overgiving in the particular situation, and you potentially just keep getting hurt, keep getting betrayed. And this is not a good sign. There's probably a lot of memories that you have with this person, a lot of innocent memories, a lot of joyful memories that you have with this person. But as time goes on and as these betrayals stack up, there's the feeling of regret, the feeling of disappointment, and just apathy coming up in this particular reading. I'm really sensing that because this particular card of the woman walking away, turning her back, is really showing and popping out at me. As you could also tell, all of the people's eyes are closed. So in a sense, I'm sensing for my pile number 4s that you've been trying to avoid the situation. You've been trying to close your eyes through the situation and not see it for what it really is. But it causes you to be kind of taken advantage of in this particular situation. That's very clear to me. I really sense that you're kind of exhibiting the shadow side of the Queen of Pentacles of overgiving. And we could also see more signals of this in the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles talks about time management, prioritization, adaptability, and multiple priorities. But when we're talking about cards of betrayal, I'm sensing that you have prioritized this person potentially. You have prioritized this connection and trying to fix this connection. However, it's not really working out, and I'm starting to feel like your energy is being depleted from the situation and constantly dealing with the situation. So finally, we move on to the Magician, and the Magician is Mercury and air energy, and it does talk about positive things like manifestation, resourcefulness, power, inspired action, creativity, and success. So I feel like in your highest self, in your healed self, when you're not dealing with betrayal and deception, and you're not dealing with deep wounds, you're actually somebody that is able to manifest easily. You're somebody that is able to exhibit a lot of creativity, actually. You are a very successful person. You probably are successful in all different types of fields and areas of your life except relationships. I'm sensing that relationships is kind of that missing point for you, where you feel like you keep attracting people that don't treat you right, or even people that lie to you or betray you. Something with that energy, and it could be the fact that you're very adaptable to other people, you're very accommodating to other people, you're very giving and overgiving to other people, which causes people to be taking from you. So with that being said, the message that's meant to reach you right now, Pile 4, is that you are in an energy of overgiving. And if there's somebody that has come up when it brought up betrayal from these two cards, I'm encouraging you to really reevaluate those things. Ask yourself if you can see this happening again and again and being okay with it. If nothing ever changes, are you going to be okay with the situation, or is it going to wear on your spirit over time? So that's actually all I had for the tarot portion of the story. Let's now go ahead and get your oracle cards and see what other messages we can get. Commit to self-care rituals. Yes, exactly. What I'm sensing is that you have been overgiving. That is the shadow side of the Queen of Pentacles. And to combat overgiving, start pouring into yourself. And if you don't even know how to pour into yourself, consider how you pour into other people. And that's going to be different for any of you. All of our love languages are different. But let's say your love language is acts of service and you're doing X, Y, and Z for this person. Try to reverse that and do all those acts of service things for yourself. And maybe if your love language is giving gifts and you're constantly giving out gifts, make sure that you're also giving yourself gifts. I actually hear that a lot, where people have no problem in spending on other people, but when it comes to spending on themselves, they are a lot more conservative. So allow yourself, if you feel better to put a budget on it, allow yourself to splurge a little bit on yourself and give yourself that same amount of love. I feel like you have been neglecting yourself. And also with this particular image, she has cucumbers on her eyes, and she has probably a hair mask on, or just got out of the shower or bath, and there's flowers all around her. So try to indulge in those things. Try to indulge in doing your skincare, your hair care, body care, and even adding more beauty into your life through getting yourself a bouquet of fresh flowers. They don't have to be expensive. It's really just that energy of putting into yourself rather than giving all of your energy outwards is really being encouraged at this time. So let's go ahead and see what the best self-care is for you to do. Number 4, be still. So 4 is also a number of hard work, but it could also represent the mother, the home, the family, the emotional state, the inner self, even vehicles, cars, boats, things like that. So maybe you could spend some time in water or someplace that brings you emotional security and safety. She looks to be laying on a yoga mat. So if you have a yoga mat, or even if you don't, if you have a blanket, you could lay it on the floor and just allow yourself to be still, thinking about nothing, no devices. And just laying in the exact position that she's laying in. Legs are stretched out, arms are to the side stretched out, allowing yourself to be still, and whatever thoughts come up, allow them to come up. So as you can see, her eyes are also closed. Oh my gosh, and this one's eyes is also closed. And these are all from, the tarot is the same deck, but these are all from different decks. So I'm sensing that your eyes have been closed to the situation for way too long. So when you lay down like this, and I do recommend you lay down like this, allow the feelings to come up. They're going to be difficult to face, but as you let these memories come up, the betrayals come up, just sit there, lay there, allow yourself to feel all of these things. You have to go through these things eventually. So I know that you have a lot of heartbreak, emotional pain, even grief and hurt when these things come up, but when you allow yourself to feel 5% of it here, 5% of it there, like throughout the day, as it comes up in waves, you just shove it back down. That's actually just going to cause it to build up, build up, build up, and never go away. And you might start getting ailments. You might start seeing mysterious accidents happen, or weird, mysterious things happen to your body, or even your mental health will suffer because of it over time. And so when you lay down like this and you meditate on it and you allow that feeling to come up, and I've done this before as well. The longest session I've done when I was meditating on something that was painful to me was over 2 hours, just a little bit over 2 hours. It was about maybe 2 to 2.5 hours. And I was sobbing, I was crying, I was allowing myself to feel it entirely. I literally thought I was going to die. And I know that sounds scary, but on the other side of that, I felt so much lighter. It was so nice. And I honestly have never felt that sad again about the situation. I honestly have saw it from both sides, my side, the other person's side, and I've been able to let it go. And I really feel like I escaped the cycle of escapism, which is what it was. I was avoiding it. I was escaping from it, living in an illusion, trying to just think my way out of it. And when I actually dived deep into the middle of that darkness, I was able to find light. I know that's really cheesy, but that's really the truth, and that is my actual lived experience. So I want to share that with you because I feel like you're going to find harmony on the other side of this. You're going to find alignment on the other side of this, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. It's going to take hours of your time potentially, and you're going to have to feel very deep feelings that you may have not really allowed yourself to feel. And being betrayed is something that people hold on to for the rest of their life. So if you actually want to get over this or try to begin to get over this, it's really important to just process those things. Processing your emotions is very, very, very important, especially on the earth plane. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Forest Temple, Enlightenment, number 19. 1 plus 9 is 10 is 1. So this is about the self. And I love how it's talking about enlightenment, because I said that I found the light when I dived into the darkness. So another way to put that is I got enlightened by going through this pain, going through this darkness. And I'm sensing that you will as well. You're going to find an enlightening thing on the other side of this. I'm just going to give random examples. I'm also seeing 444 on the clock right now. So your angels are with you and encouraging you throughout all of this chaos that you might be facing. So if we're going to be laying down, meditating on any betrayal that we might have faced, it's going to be difficult, and everyone's different. So you may come to the conclusion that even though this person betrayed me, it doesn't mean that we didn't have a good time when we were good. It doesn't mean that there wasn't a good beginning. There doesn't mean that, I can't hold the good memories and keep them close to my heart while also processing the bad memories, and then realizing and getting to the point of enlightenment that either there's two paths. I can actually forgive this, let this go, and continue on with this relationship because I trust this person won't do it again, and I trust that this person will change, like truly, truly. Or you may get enlightened in the other way and realize that this is going to be a painful ending because the truth is this person will never change. This person will probably betray me again because they have multiple times already. And you might come to the enlightenment point that you actually do love yourself and that you don't want to put yourself through this and that you would never allow one of your friends to put themselves through this, or potentially your child in the future to go through this. You would never wish that even upon your worst enemy. So when you come upon that thought, that enlightenment, you may come to the point where you're realizing 3 on the clock as I'm saying this, that it is time to walk away and let go. So I'm really sensing that you need to do it yourself and you will come to the right path and conclusion for yourself. No one can actually tell you what the truth is. Only you can find the truth out by being silent, being still, and letting the truth come to you. Something really is shifting in you though. I really sense that things cannot stay how they are at this moment. So if you really meditate and go within, you're going to find that you're way more intuitive than you ever thought that you were. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward. Wonders. All right, with the Wonders card, and I believe this is a clear quartz. So the clear quartz has really been around for a very long time, and people have been using the clear quartz and similar crystals to help them with their healing. So I sense that you need help with your healing, and potentially you could benefit from getting crystals or just having something that grounds you, because I sense that when you think about this betrayal or when you think about these difficult things, you get very ungrounded, and you could tell that you're ungrounded by the thought cycles looping, not really being able to control your speech, and maybe word vomiting, all these different things. And what that's telling me with this Wonders card is I sense there's actually so many possibilities for you on the other side of this. And I sense that you wonder about your life. If you actually left this relationship, what is going to happen? What type of things are going to present themselves to me? And you wonder about these possibilities all the time. You wonder about the possibilities of starting a new life, essentially. And I'm actually encouraging you to follow your curiosity, to follow your wonder, because I'm sensing that if you really believe that the best relationship that you can get is one that's full of betrayal, then there's something deeper here. There's something that is so far beyond this particular relationship where you feel like that's okay. I'm sensing for some of you, you know this relationship is bad for you, but there's a level of it being addicting even. There's a level of it just taking over you, and that you wanted it to change, but it's not changing. So there needs to be a transition or even an ending. So let's go ahead and move forward. Purification, Snapdragon, 4 + 1 is 5, 41 as well. And then Gemini here, and there's a potion. So I'm sensing that this whole relationship, I just heard poison. This whole relationship is poison. And sorry, I have a nervous laugh. It's very distressing on your spirit, on your soul. I'm really sensing that it's been a long-standing thing. This could have been happening for months, years, or decades for some of my Pal 4. So I'm sensing that it's going to take time for you to clear this out of your energy field if you do choose to end it and move forward. It's going to take time to purify this out of your spirit, because I sense that in general, before the situation, that you were a very pure person, that you were a very positive person, but this person potentially turned you dark. This person, this situation potentially changed you and made you unrecognizable to yourself. So it's going to take time to purify your spirit. It's going to take time to change things, but the risk of staying the same in this situation is way worse than the unknowns, the wonders of changing. And I'm really sensing that. I am encouraging you, Pal 4, to at least reevaluate the situation and try to be still so things can come to you. You may reach a point of enlightenment and see that you're worthy of everything that you've ever wanted, especially in love. You're able to manifest anything you want, especially in love. And you don't want to keep giving until the point that you don't recognize yourself anymore. I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. I hope the best for you, Pal 4. If you did resonate or enjoy that reading, please give me a big like down below, and comment down below, Pal 4, or what resonated for you. I'd love to see your comments. This is my absolute favorite thing about the channel. When you interact with the reading, you pull the energy closer to you, and I'm giving you positive energy, healing energy, courageous energy. So I'm rooting for you, Pal number 4. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new pick a card tarot readings just like this one every single week. So I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye, Paul 4.